Where are some examples where you see the weapon being manifest?
So when you talk about warfare, right, of course we have economic warfare, and that's something that I know you, you cover it every day. We talked a little bit about the kinetic war. There's also cyber warfare. We saw Malware Bytes Laboratory reported that between 2019 and 2020, a 607% increase in malware attacks against the food and agriculture sector. Now, every other sector that they observed, the most they had was about a 60% increase, 607%. So you see in recent FBI bulletins, the FBI actually did a great film called Made in Beijing that talked about communist China and their pursuit of economic dominance. And they had a case study there where Bayer Crop Science discovered, with the FBI's help, Chinese spies targeting their seed science. And so it's a full range of both cyber espionage, economic warfare, and now, Kevin, what I also worry about is sabotage. You know, I'm sure you all talked about it on your segment with Ross Kennedy. The fact that we've had, I'm counting now, 30 major fires in the last 16 months. And you know, it's important to note that this is not necessarily a surprise that the food sector has fires, right? Food is fuel. We eat it, it's fuel for us. Right. It therefore burns easily. And so the National Fire Protection Association has said, you know, 2019, there was 2,000 fires across the whole sector, right? Okay. They wrote an article. The title of it was, "There's Nothing to See Here." But thank goodness we're paying attention to it now, because we can't afford, when we have all these other things affecting the food supply, we can't afford to have major headquarters burning to the ground, major storage facilities in this country. And so far, like I said, over the last 16 months, we've had at least 30. So
30 major ones.
Right.
And we're not counting the small ones. Those are ones that made the news.
They made the news, exactly. Right. I mean, if it makes the news.
And then we have planes flying into facilities. It's, you know, it does get a little eerie.
Right. And so it's something that we have to pay attention to. We can't afford to lose this infrastructure. America's not, we talked before about 2% of the population produces the food. Americans, by and large, just like they take for granted electricity, they take for granted the fact that they can go to the grocery store. You saw it in Texas last year during the winter storm. Shelves were empty, right? And so the average American makes 1.6 visits to the grocery store every week, okay?
Okay.
And so what does that tell you? It tells you that they don't have much stored in the pantry. The average American consumes 5.5 pounds of food per day. Wow. You push that out over a year, that's over 2,000 pounds of food. And so when you think about a population of 330 million people and how many pounds of food it would take to feed them for a duration, our national, you know, we have a strategic national stockpile that used to contain food. It doesn't anymore.
Wow.
And so we as Americans, by and large, are unprepared to go without it.